Hey hunters, having the correct loadout for every single dojo is super important. This is why we're going to take a look at the Nightmare dojos today, so you know what weapon, what rings, and what gadgets or passives to bring. As well, we have a new pass now in this season, which means if you want to buy this pass, make sure that you're supporting your favorite content creator out there. If you want to support me, you can go into the shop and on the far right side and put in creator code iTzu. I really appreciate that, and always remember, out of those things you can buy in here are only cosmetics. But let's get things started with the first Nightmare Dojo, and one option, I will show you too how you can beat it, is going to be the bow. Just full single target, and the main objective here is to just take those dragons out one by one. The key thing here is as well, because Nightmare, they deal a lot of damage, and I guess a lot of you won't have like the craziest upgrades, so you want to have as well some passive protection, which means we're going to bring the chickens. Those chickens are going to make sure that you are going to have some tanks in front of you and won't take too much damage. On top of that, something which is super important, because at the end of the day, chickens are somewhat random. There's a spawn chance. It's not guaranteed every like 5th hit or something where you're going to get a chicken. So you have to rely on your own skill as well, which means if there are no chickens popping up, you have to be able to dodge the attacks of those monsters. And this is for every single dojo out there. Which means if a monster, a boss, or whatever is starting with the attack animation and you're dashing, you won't take any damage and you're pretty much dodging the attack. Why is it important that you're doing it during the attack animation? The reason is pretty simple, because otherwise, if you're dashing too early, they will just follow you and hit you then. But when they're in the attack animation, they're kind of stuck, and that is super crucial. So, easily beat the dragons. But there's another option on how we can do that, and that is just the Electro Fist. This one, in my opinion, though, is just way harder, because you really need to make sure that you're getting always those dragons stunned up. Because what you're aiming for with the Monster Taser and with the Multi-Zapper and with the passive of the Electro Fists, you're trying to really keep them in place so you can deal the damage over long range. You have no chickens whatsoever for the protection. It's only the Vamp Teeth and as well the vitamins to heal you back up. As well, in this one, it's even more important to have this dodge skill, which means you really want to make sure if someone is getting close to you, you're dodging as they're attacking, you won't take any damage, as you can see multiple times. This won't work every single time, but try to nail the timing, because that is such an important thing if you want to beat the dojos on the highest level. If you don't dodge that, a lot of times you're going to run out of hit points, and that's obviously not optimal, because then you have to restart again. Otherwise, this is just super stressful, to be honest. I mean, the other one is quite chill. You can just circle the dragons while your chickens typically are tanking. Yes, relying more on the randomness of the chicken spawn. But this one is just super stressful, but it works as well. And depending on what you have upgraded, like your weapons or your passives, whatever, depending on that, you can as well pick whatever opening you want to play. But both are working. I just think the bow is a little bit easier to execute, because, as I already said, you have the chickens you can rely on. As well, on this one, there is another thing you have to take into consideration, especially if you want to be quick, and that is the damage split between those two dragons. Right now, you can see I'm fighting versus only one dragon, and the Electro Fist kind of loses value, so you have to make sure that you're trying to keep them on the same hit points with specific movement and targeting them. So I did not an optimal job here, which means I take quite a bit of time to take down the last dragon. But that's about the double dragons. Let's move on to crowd control. And that one is a super easy one. Trust me. With that, we're just going with the portal. A lot of damage on our rings when it comes down to the gadgets or to our passives, because they are going to carry us. What we're going to do is we're just running into the middle, use our spells, and then just move around the map. Always try to stay out of range of all of those different monsters. And whenever they get too close, just dash away. Keep using your abilities, and that's pretty much it. The vitamin shots here are here for two reasons. First off, your own protection, so you're staying healthy. And as well, you typically want to use them as well to get the next spray them a little bit faster in. Because with spraying earlier, because you have a higher attack speed, means you have more damage output. So that's kind of the thing here. In the beginning, I did not use the vitamins off cooldown, because I was just afraid that they were catching up and I would lose a lot of hit points. But if you're familiar with the level, you can pretty much use them on cooldown to make sure that you're having more often of the splash damage. At this point, what you're waiting for is just the first monster to explode, because you have the Explodomat, and we have a lot of our rings on the passive damage, which means not only the Explodomat is doing more damage, but as well it can crit. And that, you can see it right here, can have an insane effect on those monsters. Suddenly, everything just disappears because it's like popping everywhere, and this means there's just so much damage. It's kind of ridiculous. With that, this level is just super easy. I mean, anyone can do it. You can as well do it with the CPU bomb, but the portal is just such a way safer approach and just way easier, I guess, as well. But let's move on with the next one. And the next two are kind of boring, if I'm completely honest. All you need is the dagger and the 2 rings, which are increasing the damage for your pets, the attack speed and the crit damage. That's all you need. Just go into the level, turn invisible, and let the spirits do the job. That's pretty much what you do in both of the next level. Not only helping hands, but as well with the next one. And I will just speed this up. All you have to do is make sure that you're not getting kicked out of the game because you're not really doing anything. That's, I guess, the only challenge in here. And don't get tempted of like jumping in because, well, you just want to have the spirits doing the job. As well, this is probably a good reminder here that all of those approaches are not for speed runs or anything. They're just here for you to be able to beat those levels. They're not optimized to get a really quick time or anything. They're just here for you that you can beat the level. The reason is I don't think it's needed that you're doing speed runs right now in the dojos, because remember, over the time, eventually you will probably get like level 100 rings. And that's the time where then you should do the dojos in a really quick time, because otherwise it's just time wasted of you trying to beat the levels with under-leveled equipment. Just wait for the level 100 gear and you're good to go. Like, there's no reason to do it any earlier, especially if the season has not finished, right? As well, for this one, you can just beat it super easily. I'm sorry for the spitting, but otherwise it's just too boring. I mean, I really think that's somewhat of an exploit, especially like your spirits not getting attacked, but it is what it is. If you want to beat it, that's just a super easy way. By now, you have already noticed the portal is super, super crucial if you want to beat out of those dojos. It is one of the strongest weapons in the game, which is, as I've said, funny because a lot of people feel like the portal is really weak. But actually, it's one of the best things you can possibly play. On this one, we're going in full. I mean, we're luring everything. We don't care about the blowers getting everything joined up. All we have to do here, though, is stay close to the wall and just run. Run as fast as you can while you keep shooting, keep dashing away, keep using your spells. And the reason why we're using the mist as a healing option is because it's one of the strongest self-healing tools you have. And you can see already there's a lot of damage on you. On top of that, we have the dodge chance. So don't worry if you're dying a couple of attempts, because dodge chance means that you can get unlucky as well. Even if you have like a 25% dodge chance, you can still get unlucky and not dodge any shots whatsoever. And you need to have those dodges happening, especially versus the spitters. You just keep circling the map, hoping for some nice dodges, keep pulling out those spells and gadgets, and that's pretty much it. I mean, at this point, you're just non-stop spamming everything until everything again disappears. The portal is just such a good kiting tool and such a good kiting weapon with those slowdown spells and everything. And this time around, we're combining it with the rockets because we don't want to stay close to those things. So this is why we can't use the ice globe. With that, we'll just keep using the spells. That's what you have to do. And at some point, all of the knights are gone. And that's kind of where you have to sometimes like do one step into these spitters. Otherwise, your spray might not reach it. But then, with the final fire rocket, this should be no problem. And you should be able to easily complete it. Let's move on to the final level of the dojo, and that is the Nightmare 1 versus 1. This one is actually super simple if you follow a couple of instructions. And again, we're going with the bow. You can play it as well with the buzzkill, but I feel like still the bow is just the easiest way if you're aware on how to counter the spinner. As well, I'm running the dodge chance because this spinning, the tornado of this monster, of the juggler, of the berserker, sorry, is actually getting you a hit every single time, and you have a dodge chance every single time. You will see this as soon as he's spinning the first time. The dodge chance is like your cheat code when you want to survive versus this boss. Otherwise, you just keep spawning the chickens. And if you're unlucky with the chickens, then you have to just, well, make sure that you're dodging the attacks. As well, there's another thing on how you have to move around the tornado attack, which is, If he's far away, just kite backwards, then go through him, and then dash again. On the first tornado, as you have just seen, he was really close to me. So what I had to do is I went through him, and then as he was coming back, I dashed through him again. But since we're having the dodge chance, that's pretty much like whatever, because we are dodging a lot of his spins. So just make sure that you're picking the right of those two things. If he's far away, starting with the tornado, move away, and as he's reaching you, just going through him and then dash away from him. If he's close to you while doing the tornado attack, move away from him until he reaches you, then move through him, and then dash away from through him again. So this is kind of like what you have to like pick. Those are the two options of the tornado attack. And if you can dodge the tornado, that is pretty much how you can overall beat the boss really easily. This time, he was really far away. This is why I moved through him. And then dodged away as he's getting closer again to me. And then just non-stop shooting. As well, one important trick though is the dagger. Use the dagger as often as possible before he's getting enraged. As soon as he's enraged though, try to only get close to him if you really have enough hit points and the safety to move away again. Otherwise, you will just go down. But that is pretty much how you can beat every single of the Nightmare Dojos. I hope all of that was helpful. And I will see you guys already back tomorrow with the next Moco video, hopefully, because I have some nice weapon tier lists on like the best loadouts for every weapon for you, because that's a lot of people asking every single time on what they should use for every weapon. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Moco video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.